In a not-so-distant future, Earth lies in ruins due to devastating nuclear wars, making life on the planet nearly impossible. In a desperate bid for survival, a group of colonists is dispatched to the moon to establish a base for future settlements. However, the colonization attempts prove futile, and the settlers are left with no choice but to engage in resource mining on the moon. Miners endure 2 decades of labor before earning the opportunity to embark on a 75-year journey to the thriving planet, Omega. 50 years have passed since the initial colonization of the moon, resulting in the emergence of a generation of children who are growing weary of their confined lives inside the mining base, trapped in a monotonous routine. The year is now 2257, and rumors circulate regarding a mysterious object that collided with the moon, creating a crater that remains off-limits to all. Amid this backdrop, a group of adventurous kids gathers near the hangar with a daring plan to steal a rover and escape from the mining base. As they secretly discuss their escape plan, they hide from passing adults and argue about their next steps. Dylan accidentally activates the rover's alarm while inspecting it, sparking tension among the group. During this commotion, Caleb clutches a small capsule containing memories of how he arrived at the moon. Caleb's father, Michael, passed away, and with no surviving family members since his mother's demise 7 years earlier, he is bound for Omega, where he will be adopted by a new family. Cryosleep will preserve his childhood, but Caleb is reluctant to leave behind his friends, who are his surrogate family. Despite Caleb's pleas, he's told he'll leave in 3 days after a meteor shower. Memories of his father Michael teaching him to conquer his fear of heights and gaze at the stars resurface. Michael emphasized the presence of family and spirit and wished Caleb to explore a mysterious crater. Caleb, joined by friends Dylan, Borny, and Marcus, returns to the special spot filled with nostalgia. They understand Caleb's desire to fulfill his father's wish, and Dylan suggests one final adventure, sneaking out to explore the forbidden crater, setting them on a life-changing journey. The group of young adventurers set their sights on a daring journey away from the monotonous mining life on the moon. Eager to make their escape, they begin by pilfering a collection of essential tools for their upcoming voyage. Amidst their preparations, Caleb is unexpectedly visited by an officer who delivers a small capsule containing the ashes of his late father, Michael. The precious memento reminds Caleb of his father's wisdom and deepens his resolve. During lunch, the boys come to a crucial realization: they require base passcodes to facilitate their escape. With this dilemma in mind, Dylan hatches a plan to approach Addison, a new girl at the base who has struggled to make friends due to her unique background. Her father is a member of the science team, granting her access to the coveted codes. Dylan's initial approach to Addison is clumsy, arousing her suspicions. She withdraws from the encounter, prompting Dylan to track her down and confess his true intentions. Addison is intrigued by the allure of adventure and the close-knit friendship shared by the boys. Her eagerness to escape her isolation drives her to agree to assist in obtaining the codes, under one condition: she must join them on their escapade. A newfound alliance forms, as they recognize the shared yearning for a life beyond the moon's confinements. Returning to the present, Caleb deactivates the alarm system, just in the nick of time before a lockdown is initiated. The kids access the rover, with Dylan assuming control of the vehicle due to his familiarity with its operation. Addison takes on the task of entering the codes she has secured while adorning the rover's control panel with a small bobblehead astronaut as a token of Earth's tradition. Caleb reflects on his father's final words as they venture into a lengthy corridor and finally emerge onto the lunar surface. They step onto the lunar surface, captivated by the moon's desolate beauty, and encounter a massive, ancient structure, a testament to humanity's earlier failed lunar colonization efforts. Addison questions the significance of just 20 years on the moon before returning to Earth, unaware of the hidden truth. Caleb enlightens Addison about the real situation, revealing the base's hidden trap: any missteps, such as delayed returns or illnesses, would extend their contracts indefinitely. Moreover, if someone were to perish before completing their 20 years, their family members would be forced to fulfill the remaining years of their contract. Addison, realizing the hardships her friends face, apologizes and shares enchanting tales of Earth's beauty: lush trees, boundless blue skies, and vast oceans. As they journey on the moon, Addison's stories provide a glimpse of the distant Earth they yearn for. After embarking on their lunar journey, the group takes a pause, parking the rover and donning their spacesuits. Addison, coming from a more privileged background, wears a high-quality suit that surprises the boys with her stunning appearance. Excited by the low lunar gravity, they revel in the freedom to jump extraordinarily high, experiencing an almost playful lightness. Gazing upon Earth from the moon's surface, they are struck by its vivid, deep blue color. Addison, inspired by the sight of Earth, decides to introduce the boys to the concept of baseball, albeit with improvised equipment such as stones and sticks. The experiment meets an early snag when the ball travels too far due to the moon's reduced gravity. Frustrated by their inability to grasp the rules and feeling isolated, Addison steps away, caught in a wave of nostalgia for her home planet. She reaches out to the distant Earth, tears welling up in her eyes. As Addison ponders her feelings of loss and yearning, she's startled by an intriguing sound behind her. The boys have improvised a rocket jump using an oxygen tank. Secured to the rover by a tether, they take turns leaping into the lunar sky, propelled by gravity and oxygen expulsion. Initially cautious about safety and oxygen waste, Addison gives in to peer pressure when challenged by Dylan. They enjoy soaring into space, but disaster strikes when Borny's tether snaps, leaving him adrift. The others rush to grab more oxygen tanks to rescue their friend, resulting in a chaotic and humorous chase. Amid the turmoil, the children form a makeshift human chain by holding onto one another, gaining enough mass to descend back to the moon's surface. Although the risky adventure consumes a considerable amount of their oxygen supply, they emerge unharmed but depleted. Confronted with their dwindling resources, they contemplate the next move. Caleb suggests a risky solution. They might find additional oxygen at an old outpost from the moon's early settlement days. Barney objects vehemently, recounting tales from his brother about ghosts haunting the outpost. This sparks a heated exchange of insults and punches between Borny and Dylan, with Marcus attempting to mediate but getting caught in the scuffle. Amidst the turmoil, Caleb raises his voice, reminding them of the importance of cherishing their last moments together. Struck by his words, the boys reconcile and offer sincere apologies. As they approach the outpost, they find its interior shrouded in absolute darkness, setting the stage for an ominous encounter. Continuing their exploration of the mysterious structure, the children move along a corridor and are startled by the sight of human-like shapes. Their initial shock turns to nervous laughter when they realize they're surrounded by mannequins. Addison astutely observes that this isn't an outpost but rather a prototype lunar home for future colonization. As they explore this well-designed lunar abode, Dylan shares his father's story with Addison, explaining Borny's earlier comments. Caleb, upon encountering a mannequin, is reminded of his father's poignant stories about his late mother. The kids discover a cache of oxygen tanks and plenty of food in storage, choosing to spend a comfortable night in this haven. Following a hearty feast, the group starts a fire, and Addison regales them with stories about Earth's rich tapestry of cultures, belief systems, and her personal experiences, including her parents' divorce. With a hint of nostalgia, she shares that her mother and brother have embarked on the long cryosleep journey to Omega, meaning Addison has lost contact with her sibling. Suddenly, a mysterious button pressed by Borny sets the house's music playing, leading the kids to discover that the house is controlled by a central computer. The inherent unfairness of abandoning such beautiful aspects of life, like art and music, at the expense of colonization, fills Caleb with righteous anger. The kids decide to unleash their frustrations on the house, leaving no object unscathed. They indulge in unrestrained destruction, enjoying every moment of chaos. During the night, Addison and Caleb have a quiet conversation. Caleb expresses his concern for Dylan and asks Addison to be there for him after he departs, providing the support and friendship he'll need. The next day, while driving in the rover, their battery runs dry. As the boys argue about their next steps, Addison sends a distress signal, realizing a rescue team can't reach them until the lockdown is lifted. This decision buys them time. They opt to continue on foot to the mysterious crater and return later for rescue. Dressed in their suits, they make their way to the colossal crater, deep in thought. Caleb recalls his father's wish for him to visit the crater someday. Their anticipation grows as they peer into the chasm, revealing a luminous structure surrounded by strange pillars. One pillar bears the inscription, "The past is never far away." They're drawn to a door mysteriously opening on the floor, encouraging them to explore further, leading to a corridor with breathable air. Continuing their journey, the children enter a strange room with just a fake tree in a black circle, inscribed with a phrase about the skies they left behind. Addison recognizes the room's design, discovers a concealed panel, and presses a button, bathing the room in brilliant white light, and transporting them to Earth. For the first time, they experience the breathtaking beauty of nature with its vivid blue skies. Although they realize it's a hologram, the experience is deeply moving. Caleb finds a star on the floor, revealing a small capsule containing his mother's ashes and a cherished photograph of his parents. This discovery reveals his father's true intention. Overwhelmed, Caleb doesn't want to leave the moon, which he considers his true home. Dylan gently reminds him that many dream of escaping the moon for a better life in Omega, and he shouldn't squander the opportunity his father wanted for him. Suddenly, Marcus falls ill while they are outside. It appears that the change in environment has affected his blood pressure. The group aids Marcus in leaving the building to retrieve his medicine. However, upon emerging from the structure, they are met with an unexpected sight. The meteor shower has finally begun. Borny is seized by fear, but Caleb offers him words of encouragement, motivating the group to run through the downpour of meteors, carrying Marcus and skillfully dodging the falling celestial bodies. With remarkable agility, the boys reach the rover within minutes. Regrettably, a meteor falls perilously close to Addison, causing her to stumble. She quickly takes cover behind a large rock for safety. Worried about Addison's disappearance during the meteor shower, Borny stays with Marcus at the rover while Caleb and Dylan decide to rescue Addison. A meteorite strikes Dylan, rendering him unconscious. Fortunately, their suits have a repair gun to seal Dylan's helmet cracks. They make a perilous journey back to the rover, with meteors falling dangerously close. Addison helps Caleb carry Dylan. When they reach the rover, they find the window shattered. With limited oxygen, they lose hope amid the meteor shower. Dylan awakens after a few minutes, and he and Caleb make their peace with the situation, expecting to lose consciousness. As Caleb closes his eyes, they believe they can hear the faint sound of approaching people. Sometime later, Caleb regains consciousness, only to be confronted with the heartbreaking realization that he has been transported to Omega without the opportunity to bid farewell to his friends. Among his belongings, he discovers the cherished photograph of his parents and Addison's bobblehead. A nurse brings him a digital player containing a collection of messages sent by his friends over the past 75 years. Through these heartfelt messages, Caleb learns about their remarkable lives. Marcus has initiated a baseball team, and Addison spearheaded a campaign that improved the miners' contracts, eventually leading to Borny becoming the lead administrator. Dylan and Addison fell in love, married, and went on to have children and even grandchildren. Caleb is both melancholic and content to hear the voices of his friends evolve as they mature in a world without him. Caleb embarks on a new life on Omega, where he is quickly adopted by a caring foster family that provides him with the opportunity for a bright future. Although the transition takes some time, Caleb eventually learns to move forward and forges new friendships. Once he feels ready, he sets out to locate Addison's brother. Upon finding him, he presents him with the cherished bobblehead and shares the recorded messages, recounting the unforgettable adventure they experienced together on the moon that fateful day.